turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, most of the shell, yeah, we leveled up. Claw bottom, my body open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. Ay, I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are open claw forever. We know who we are. Touchdown, new shell, whole team in motion. Names kept flip flopping like waves in the oceans. Claw bottom, more by then open cliff focus. Molded at dawn, now we move with an ocean. Beat in the back, so trust the crustacean. Build out the world, get about elevation. Matter most things when we glide through the sections. Claw is the law, that's the code and direction.
All right, Mr. Accountability, can you check one more time? Please check Kick, YouTube, and Facebook for me. Also should be live is LinkedIn. So just want to make sure all these platforms are live. So wherever you want to watch it, you're good to go. I think the main platforms that we're probably going to ease into over time, it's going to be YouTube, um, the StreamYard thing, and then potentially Kick or something, right? We'll get the hang of it. So, Mr. Accountability, I'm waiting for your comment. If you tell me it's live, then I know it's live. Mr. Accountability. All right, thanks.
Okay, approve, high risk, steps to person if the She says steady, we keep it composed. Bought in the
All right, welcome everybody. We are about to start in just a second. If you are here with me live, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you're here, you're live, and you're ready to claw for about 2 hours. All right, Mr. Accountability. So YouTube and Kick are live, but not Facebook. I wonder. Let's fix that. Thank you, Mr. Accountability. All right, let's fix that. I love it. Okay, on the contrary, Mr. Accountability, Facebook is live. So check it out. If it's working for you, I guess we're good to go. I think the only platform that we're probably going to have to postpone for our next live on Sunday is X. They're asking me to go premium to stream. So I'll make sure I do that for you guys. But if you're here with me, drop a 1 in the chat and let me know where you're watching from. Put it in the chat. Let everybody know where you're watching from. If you're watching from Dagestan, put it in there. If you're watching from, the mountains of, Kenya or Ghana or Russia or Colombia or America or Canada. All right, we got people from Ghana. All right. We got some Canadians in the house. That's good. Oh, Saudi. We got some Saudis in the house. Nice. Amazing. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. It's about to get lit. We got 2 minutes to get started. Remember, you have to share the link. You have to get somebody, friend, spouse. Hey, get your dogs to watch. I don't care. Yeah. Drop a 1 in the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. So Samson is watching from Ghana. We have Alal. I hope I mentioned your name correctly. Watching from Saudi Arabia. Thank you for tuning in. Share this with your Saudi friends. Let them know we're doing a lot of cool things on this stream. They have to be a part of it. The world is changing right before our eyes, and this stream is one of the opportunities that we have to experience it, learn about it, and learn how we can take advantage of it. So I'm very, very excited. See, there's lots and lots and lots of you on here. Use the chat feature. Put a 1 in the chat if you're here, and also let me know where you're watching from. Right now, we only have 3 countries. We have Ghana, we have Canada, Saudi. No one from Dagestan, man. Where my Dagestan people at? All right. Okay, Mr. Accountability is like, Facebook isn't working for him. Maybe it's the cookies. Maybe it's your cookies, buddy. All right, we have a few people on here, so we are about to get started. All right.
Turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, molded the shell, yeah, we leveled up far. Claw bottom, my bottom, open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. Ay, I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are. Open claw forever, we know who we are. Touchdown, new shell, whole team in motion. Names kept flip-flopping like waves in the ocean. Claw bottom, more by then open cliff focus. Molded at dawn, now we move with the notion. Feet in the back, set trust the crustacean. Built out the world, get about elevation. Matter most things when we glide through the sections. Claw is the law, that's the code and direction. Lure in the fall, soul in the dark. Memory deep, keep the story in start. Change names plenty, still kept the same clock. New shell, same soul, can't stop, won't stop. I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, molded the shell, yeah, we leveled up far. Claw bottom, open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are. Open claw forever, we know.
We got some San Francisco people in the house. We got some people from the Bay Area. All right, Mr. Accountability. I did not think you were from there. Thank you for checking up on my streams. All right. So we're about to get started. Yeah, I think we're all here. So turn on the music and let's welcome all of you. All right, guys. Welcome. You finally made it. We are live and we are ready to rumble. Okay. So, for those of you that don't know what this stream is about Clawdbot or OpenClaw. My name is Dominic and I will be clawing with you today. All right. I'm going to take this comment off the screen and we're going to get started in just a second. All right. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me well. I'm about to, go crazy on this OpenClaw thing. So, pardon me if I don't look at the chat too often. Okay. All right. But if anything goes wrong, just let me know. I have the chat open in another window. The previous stream, I had some issues with that, but I can always see the chat now. If anything goes wrong, you guys let me know. All right. So put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Please put a 1 in the chat. We're about to get started here. Want to see a couple 1s so we can get started. Put a 1 in the chat. All right. Let's get started. So welcome to the third clawing session. My name is Dominic, and I run a school community called the OpenClaw Academy. You can go there at mba.sh. Go there, join, and you'll get access to this recording and a whole bunch of other resources about OpenClaw. This is the biggest OpenClaw school community in the world, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to have you guys on board. I'm happy that we can learn together what this new technology is. Now, there's a guy in the chat asking, hey, what's this meeting about? What are we learning? Today, we're going to learn how to set up Clawdbot or OpenClaw on Telegram. Yeah, we're going to do that. That's exactly what we're going to do.
Sensational.
All right. So get your MacBooks ready, get your Mac Minis ready, get your laptops ready. We're about to dig in. Now, as usual, as the previous clawing sessions have gone, we're gonna do some news. All right. So cue the news, guys. All right. So I'm gonna share my screen here and show you something really interesting. Something that happened about 24 hours ago, less than 24 hours ago, actually. And the guys in the Bay Area, like accountability, should probably have heard about it. But if you didn't hear about it, you're hearing out of here. All right, I'm gonna share my screen and let me know when you see it. All right, can you see my screen? All right, I am going to drop in a page in here and I'm going to show you guys something very, very cool. All right, so I guess I dropped a message in here, and this is a video you should watch. I dropped the highlights to the first ever ClaudeBot conference. It literally happened a couple hours ago, and I'm just gonna drop this in the chat for you guys so you can watch it. Right? For those of you that are not on the Skool community, this is a link directly to the Skool community. You should be able to watch it from there. And I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. Um, but essentially, these are all the guys that are excited about ClaudeBot, and these guys are based in the Bay Area. These are engineers, founders. AWS was there. We had like some YC companies there. There were like heavyweights, right? And the creator of ClaudeBot himself was there. Peter Steinberger was there. Towards the end of it, you can see there we have Peter. This is the creator of ClaudeBot or OpenClaw, for those of you that don't know. So I entreat you to, go watch this thing. But this is the very, very first ClaudeBot conference, and a lot of cool stuff was shown off. A whole bunch of robots, that are apparently controlled by Claude. And then there were really cool presentations. So there's this guy controlling his computer. This is called the computer use thing, and he did a presentation, and then this really, really cool presentation. This guy's really cool. You should check him out. Go look him up. Go look up Aditya. He's really cool, and he's found a way to make ClaudeBot improve on itself. Right? It's amazing. You should check it out. And towards the end, as you know, the insider that I am, right? I had access to this and I actually watched this live. And I went in and I made my voice heard. So as you can see, I put in a question. So I asked the question. I was like, most enterprises see this as a security risk. Are there any plans you have to build an enterprise version of this at some point? And this is a question directly to Peter to try and get his thoughts on it. And he actually commented. So that was really cool to watch. You guys can also access this link on the YouTube channel. So just go to YouTube, type Dominic Damoa, and then you should have access to this. But I wanted to point this out to you. A lot is changing. Guys, make sure you join the Skool community. This community is going to keep growing. It's going to be the biggest academy online, the biggest place, the best place you can find, people that are actually using ClaudeBot, people that are using ClaudeBot for work, for school, for personal life. It's going to be amazing. So I really look forward to you guys taking advantage of this. So yeah, I think there was one other thing I wanted to share with you. Now, I want to, put out a disclaimer. Okay. I am not a crypto person. I am not affiliated with any crypto. As a matter of fact, I don't own any crypto, right? But I've seen a lot of crazy things. Now, if you're into crypto, this is for you, okay? I'm going to share another page. I'm sure my screen is probably not sharing, but give me a second. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen again. So I stumbled upon this website here, and you guys tell me, what this website is. It's called CoinGecko, right? And I'm going to drop this link in here, right? Remember, I am not a crypto expert. I'm not in any way trying to ask you to go buy any of these things, because I think Peter himself has said countless times that he's not affiliated with any of these coins. But it's pretty exciting to see, like people trying to take advantage of the fact that this thing is literally going to change the world, right? There's Wintermote and a whole bunch of other things, right? This is on the crypto side, right? There is something called there's a Molt version of Product Hunt. Let's see if we can search for it. I think it's called Molt Hunt, right? Let's see. Perfect. Now, if you go to molthunt.com, I'm going to share this link as well. You're going to find all of the cool projects that people are creating around Moltbot. I'm sure most of you probably haven't heard of Claudebot before or Moltbot, so most of these things I'm probably saying sound like alien to you. If they do, no worries. That's why you're here. I'm going to break it all down, right? But I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can kind of get a feel for what's happening. Like, this stuff is happening in real time. Literally 100 projects have been launched over the past 1 week. Literally, just over the past 1 week. There's a Molt Slack, there's a Molt City, there's a Molt Relay, there's a Molt Lab, a Molt GitLab. This is where like your modes can basically, write code and stuff like that. There's Molt Commons. Oh my god, there's so much here. It's insane. It's insane. I think the reason I'm showing you guys this is just to kind of show you the excitement around the world. Maybe the people that you hang out with, or like the news feed that you like you have access to, doesn't show this stuff to you, right? So count yourself as one of the lucky people. I kind of compare this to like the Bitcoin moment, right? Back in 2010, I was alive when Bitcoin came around, and for some odd reason I didn't hear about it. If I had heard about it, best be sure I'd probably have 6 of those coins lying in my trunk, right? But unfortunately, my network just, I don't know what it was about 2010, but I just didn't have the network to give me access to this kind of information. So like, count yourself as one of the lucky guys. Literally, like, you're right there in the room with people that actually have direct connections to the people that are running the show. I happen to have direct connections with people in the Bay Area. I've been there several times. I don't stay there. I'm in the Midwest, by the way. But I go there from time to time. I have direct access to certain individuals that know Peter directly. I also happen to be the contributor for the Mattermost plugin. So the Mattermost plugin is like a Slack alternative for those of you that don't know what that is. I did that with my partner, Aditya. He was on the screen just a couple moments ago. And, I happen to have access to OpenClaw or Claudebot. It was called Claudebot back then. I happen to have access to it like 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, like literally just before it blew up on Twitter. Like, so guys, the only reason I'm showing this to you is just be aware that something new is happening. Something exciting is happening. And I want you guys to pay attention. I want you guys to, read the room, look at the signals on the wall. If you're called to build a business out of this, do it. If you're called to teach this as well, please teach it as well. If you're called to use this, right, so that your business can thrive, do it. If this thing, like, as I go through the tutorial today we're going to do a tutorial about setting up Telegram on, your computer, connected to Claudebot. We're just going to do a small diagram about that in just a second. But if you're called to actually, test these things and actually like get a feel for it yourself, I think you should jump right in because the sky is the limit. I think, the sky isn't the limit. Come on. Claude the lobster is actually a space lobster. So I don't know. Like the galaxy is the limit, right? This thing is insane. And we're going to jump in just a second. I just remembered I have to send this live to someone very important. Give me a second while I forward this live to them. All right, perfect. Okay, so enough with the news. I want us now to draw some diagrams. So I am going to pop up Excalidraw. All right, give me a 1 in the chat if you're still following. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me. Give me a 1 in the chat if you got your claws on. All right, so I'm gonna have to take this claw off for this part of the tutorial. Please pardon me, but I need to do so. All right, we're gonna put them on at the end though. Okay, all right. All right, let's get excited. Okay, so I am going to draw here a small little diagram to illustrate to you exactly what it is we're doing today, right? So I think there was a guy here on the chat that wanted to know. So we are going to set up OpenClaw, right? So I'm going to call this OpenClaw. And let me see, maybe I have to zoom in or make all the text a little bigger. Hope you guys can see the diagram I'm drawing here. I have to use big fonts and big strokes. Fonts and strokes.
Sensational.
All right. So we're going to set up OpenClaw and Telegram together. All right. Now, the last time I had a conversation with you guys, I told you that OpenClaw is an agent, an AI agent, right? As a matter of fact, let's call it the super AI agents. All right. So we're going to break down exactly what makes up OpenClaw. Okay. So for those of you that are here for the first time, just so that you can visualize this properly, so you can understand exactly what it is that we're doing. So this is an AI agent. I'm sure most of you have heard of AI agents. If you know what an AI agent is, put a 1 in the chat. If you know what an AI agent is. If you don't know, it's perfectly fine. You can put a 0 in the chat. But I'm going to go ahead and explain it. An AI agent is a computer program that can act autonomously using AI. Now, when I say it can act autonomously, I mean it can act on its own. You don't need to prompt it or anything like that. It's almost as though it's like an AI human. Think about it that way. Imagine, just replace agent with human, because humans are agents. One of the things that makes a human is the fact that we have agency, right? This is a very well-known fact. And agency means that you can choose what you want, right? You can choose to leave the stream. You can choose to join the stream. You can choose to join others, right? And, an AI agent is essentially sort of like a clone of that concept, except this time around, it's all virtual and it's all happening on a computer, right? For now, let's try and understand it within those constraints. Robots, and I'm sure maybe some of you are thinking robots. Robots are, they're related to this concept, but for now, let's focus on this for now, okay? So this is a super AI agent. Now, the reason why I put super there is because this agent is quite smart. As a matter of fact, it's very smart and much smarter than most of the AI agents out there, even the ones coming from OpenAI, Anthropic, and co. And I'll tell you why. The reason why is that it has a swappable, right? It has a swappable brain. Okay. What does that mean? It means I can have a whole bunch of brains. Okay, so this is the brain slot. Okay, and I can have, let's say, a green brain. So let's say this is the green brain. I'm gonna call this the G brain. Okay, and then I'm gonna have a blue brain. Yeah, we're just gonna have two brains for now. Okay, so let's assume the green brain is OpenAI and the blue brain is DeepSeek. All right, perfect. Now, the way this AI agent is architected, or the way it's built, it allows you to install a brain of your choice. So if you want to use an OpenAI brain, all you do is pick it up and drop it in. If you want to use the blue brain or the DeepSeek brain, you just pick it up and drop it in. Literally, that simple. Now, it isn't just the brain, because we already have that. That's what ChatGPT gave us. ChatGPT gave us a brain in the form of a large language model. Okay. Um, the other thing that makes it extremely, extremely useful, and extremely, I don't know what word to use, effective, right? This will blow your mind after we get into the tutorial, but we need to get over the theory first, right? This is the picture I want you to have in your mind. Okay, with this picture you'll understand exactly why we're configuring the things we're configuring the way we're configuring them. Okay, so the first thing it has is a brain. The next thing it has are tools. Okay, all right, so what are tools? Tools are the various platforms that exist in a digital form that's the AI agent, can access, right? Or, since we're the one creating the agents, the tools are the tools that we allow the agents to have access to. So an example of a tool would be Gmail. So Gmail is a tool that we use. Another example of the tool would be Facebook. Another example of a tool would be StreamYard. I'm using StreamYard right now to stream to you guys. Another example of a tool would be, let's say, Nano Banana. For those of you that don't know what that is, that helps you generate really realistic AI images. Another tool would be Instagram. Another tool would be PDFs. Another tool would be, it's up to you guys. Please put in the chat some of the tools. I want to see if you're following. If you're following, just let me know some of the tools you use on a daily basis that you might give to an AI agent. I don't know. Put in the chat. Just type the name of a tool. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm going to wait for a couple tools to roll in, okay? If you're watching, we're basically talking about the AI agent and the fact that the AI agent has access not just to a brain, but it also has access to tools. All right, so someone's talking about Runway. Runway is a tool, I believe, for AI video generation. Amazing, amazing accountability. That's great. Word. Oh my God, how did I forget that? How did I forget Word? Microsoft Word, the almighty Word. It's for creating documents and Google Docs, right? What else? Like, I know there's a diverse audience here. Hey, if you're a student, you probably use, when I was a student, I used GroupMe, right? It's a chat system here in America that students use. Around the world, what does every student uses? What does every student use around the world? Every student uses email. Okay, so Teams, that's amazing. Theophilus is talking about Teams. So Teams is one of the tools. So look, the tools are endless. I wish I could put like infinity symbol here. Okay, let me see if I can draw an infinity symbol. Can I draw an infinity symbol? Ay. You know what? I am going to put two circles together and call that an infinity symbol. Okay, side by side like that. So there are an infinite number of tools that you can potentially have. Okay, I hope you understand what those are. And I am going to draw a line here. All right, and I'm just going to list a few. Okay, so if you GitHub, GitHub so that it can code. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. All right, so I'm just gonna start with that. GitHub. We have Word. We have Runway. We have Teams. We have Shopify. If you sell stuff, Shopify. We have Bitcoin. What else? Let's go crazy on the tools. Let's say we have, let me think about the tools that I use. I use a terminal all the time. I use a code editor all the time. I use Slack. Thank you. Thank you. The Naked Coach. Welcome back. Glad to have you. And I am going to allow for one more tool from the audience. Photoshop. 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 It's a great one. All right. So thank you for all of those examples. And bro, I'm gonna put Trello in there because at the end, I'm gonna show you guys something really cool that someone is doing with OpenClaw that is gonna blow your mind. Don DeMarco to every one of you who contributed to this list. So I'm just gonna add Trello to the list finally. All right, we're done with the list now. All right. So the next thing inside of this agent is memory. All right. So this is essentially everything you need to know. This is all you need to know about that agent. Okay. So it has a brain, it has tools, and it has a memory. It can remember things, right? And this is essentially everything that you need. This is the recipe for an AI agent. Like, this is the recipe for an autonomous thing. You don't even have to think about it like a robot or a computer. Just think about it like a human. I call my robot or my OpenClaw Tracy. I have another one called Elmo. I have another one called Atasa, right? And you know, just a couple of you know what that is. I have another one called Jerry. Like, you can call your agent anything. The last stream, someone, called theirs Law Doctor, right? And you can give your agent a personality. You can give your agent, its own brain, tools, and a memory. So we are going to look at how to set that up, and we're going to give the agent access to Telegram so we can have a conversation with it. I hope you guys understand so far. I am going to pause and see if you guys understand or you're following. If you're following, just put a 1 in the chat. We're going to move on and start with the tutorial. 1 in the chat if you're following so far. 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you. Mr. Naked Coach, you're following. Mr. Kingsford is following. Accountability is following. Andy's following. Nice.
Sensational.
All right. You're following as well. You're the one that asked about what we're doing today. I'm glad you're following. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right.
Sensational.
I guess we're ready to go. So I am going to get rid of this browser. We're going to bring back the browser when we need it. But we are going to begin by installing OpenClaw. So in order to install OpenClaw, my bad, you're going to go to the openclaw.ai website. Please don't get catfished or get fished. A lot of people, because this is open source, are taking undue advantage of how popular this is. And because the internet is so pervasive, like everyone has internet. The people in Dagestan have internet. Think about that, right? So, don't get catfished, okay? It's openclaw.ai. Go there and then copy the one-liner. You're going to have a one-liner here for you depending on your operating system. So I am on a Mac. You're probably on a Windows. Go ahead and copy your one-liner. and we can finally get rid of the browser, like I said. So I am getting rid of the browser. All right. All right. Don DeMarco to you if you are following and you have this thing copied. So as you can see, I have Telegram open on the right and I have my terminal open on the left. So in order to access a terminal, you're just gonna have to type terminal on your computer, or if you're on Windows, you type CMD. Okay, CMD is not CD, CMD. Okay, that's what's gonna get you the terminal. And then once you have it, just use your mouse, right click, and paste, like I did. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and install mine. So as you can see, the OpenClaw installer has started. It's installing OpenClaw. It's installing the latest version. Always stay on the latest version. The latest version is very important. Peter and the team are in real time updating the security and making sure OpenClaw is safe and smarter for you every single day. So try to stay updated. So we're waiting for it to install. All right, so OpenClaw is installed. It's running the Doctor to migrate settings. Amazing. So it is running some commands here. And don't get scared. You know, some people get scared when they see green text and like on a black background with a red lobster. No need to be scared of the red lobster. All right. So it seems I have my OpenClaw set up and it's asking me, do I want to configure my gateway with a token? As a rule of thumb, guys, always configure your gateway with a token. The token is kind of like a password, okay? Keep the bad guys out. All right, do you want to tighten permissions? Always do that when you have a chance. I'm going to choose yes. Do you want to create a folder for storing the sessions? Yes, I want to do that. Do you want to create an open authentication directory? Yes, I want to do that. And do you want to install the gateway service? Yes, you want to do that as well. It's asking if I want to set up Node. So I'm going to choose Node because it's the recommended option. And it's going to continue and set things up. Yeah, very excited. Okay, so it installed something called a launch agent, and now it's updating the plugins and it's doing a whole bunch of stuff. It says gateway daemon detected, all these really cool things. What's happening here is that OpenClaw is setting itself up on your computer, right? So we're setting up the box. Think of the red box that we were just talking about, the super agent box, right? Very soon, we are going to configure the brain, and then we're going to configure the tools, right? Amazing. Okay, so I have my OpenClaw set up. If you want to check if OpenClaw is actually set up, you type in the command OpenClaw and then status. If your OpenClaw is set up, it should respond, right? So as you can see, my OpenClaw is set up. And yes, it says there is something missing. Well, forget about all of that. We will definitely fix all those things. So the version I have is the version that was released, about 2 days ago on the 3rd of February. That's pretty new. All right. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to type OpenClaw and then configure. Okay. So what we're doing now is we're going into that red box. Remember that red box? And we want to start configuring things. So the first thing we're going to configure is the brain. Okay. We want to configure the brain. Now, when this pops up, remember, gateway always local for now. Okay. When you become advanced and when we cover more advanced topics, we'll discover why you have to use remote or any other options. But always, if you're watching my stream and you're one of the students on my platform, please stay local, even if you're on a VPS. Okay, save yourself a lot of trouble. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to configure the brain. We want to configure how the agent is able to think. So I'm going to go and then choose. So if you want to know how to navigate this, you just press the up key or the down key. The up or the down key, and then you can just go up and down. So when I press up, I go up. When I press down, I come down. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to press model. So pressing it is hitting enter, right? So when I say press, you hit enter and then you go into the setting. So here are all of the different brains that you can have. There are quite a lot of them, right? I'm sure all of you have heard of OpenAI. OpenAI is the company behind ChatGPT. Then there is Anthropic. Maybe you haven't heard about that, but Anthropic makes a product called Claude, not to be confused with Claudebot. They made it very clear over the past few weeks that they do not play around with their trademarks. So be careful with Claude. But it's a great model. It's actually one of the best models out there. There's Minimax. I've heard a lot of great things about Minimax. If you use it, put a 1 in the chat if you use Minimax. I would love to connect with you later so you can show me how to do it. And then there's Moonshot. There's a Kimi K 2.5. I've heard really great things about this one as well. I think these are Chinese models because they're not they're not mainstream. A lot of people don't know these models, but these models are considerably cheaper than OpenAI and Anthropic. So if you don't have access to OpenAI or Anthropic, or if OpenAI and Anthropic are too expensive for you, the Minimax and Moonshot AI Kimi K 2.5 might be the best bet for you. And then we have the Google Brains, right? Google actually has a company called Google Brain, by the way, and DeepMind, which are all, words that are related to brain. But I'm sure you've heard of Gemini. A lot of people use Gemini for generating photos. Gemini is also a brain that you can install inside of your agent. There's something called OpenRoute, and OpenRoute think of that as multiple brains put together. You kind of need to set up a whole system behind that for that to work. Qwen is obviously a Chinese model. GLM, I've heard a lot of things. GLM is also a Chinese model. Now, there are some situations where, a lot of people that have very, demanding use cases for OpenCloud, like they blow through their Anthropic subscriptions, they blow through their OpenAI subscriptions, or even their Minimax and Moonshot subscriptions and whatnot, right? And by blow through, I mean they've completely exhausted all of the money they put there and all of the money they can possibly put there. So they're basically being told to either wait or that they just can't help you because you're doing too much with the AI, right? Believe me, there's some people they're doing too much with the AI. Yeah.
Sensational.
In those situations, I've actually heard that you can buy a Mac Mini, or you can buy, actual hardware. You can actually buy like a physical device and then install something called Ollama on that physical device. Now, Ollama is going to allow you to run a local large language model or a local brain on your computer on that physical device. That is going to enable you to not pay the big guys anymore. You can just make sure that device is on 24/7, connected to power in your house, and you just connect it. So that is also very, very, exciting. Maybe I'll do a live about it soon in the future. I'm gonna have to learn about it first, but I know a lot of people doing it. If you join the community, I think there's a guy who's actually done it. So join the school community. There's guys that are doing this. If you don't want to pay OpenAI and Anthropic and you want something that is completely free as far as AI is concerned, you want to install local models. There's Copilot from GitHub and a whole bunch of other ones. I am not going to go through all of them, but I've done my best to kind of tell you the kind of brains that are available today, right? On the market, I use OpenAI. That's the one I use, and it's just because I can show you how to get the keys for that pretty easily. So I'm going to choose OpenAI key. I'm going to click no, and I'm going to create a key with you live, okay? Most of you have a ChatGPT subscription, so this should be easy. If you don't have a ChatGPT subscription, please get one. I'm not in any way affiliated with OpenAI. However, their models are good, and they think really well and they write code really well. They can draw images really well. They're kind of like in the middle. It's like they're not like the best at everything, but then they have really good intelligence. They can think and use tools also very well. So I'm going to bring back the browser, and we are going to go and grab our API keys from OpenAI. All right. Give me a 1 in the chat if you are still following. 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat if you're still following. All right. Amazing.
Sensational.
Okie dokie. All right. So let's go to OpenAI. So you want to guys taking me there directly? That's crazy. So let's go to platform.openai.com. You want to start there, okay? So you want to go to platform.openai.com, okay? You want to make sure you're logged in. So I'm logged in. Once you're logged in, just go to platform.openai.com, and then you click on this settings icon. This is how you get it, by the way. Just click on the settings icon, and the settings icon is going to take you to a page that has API keys on the side. I know it gets confusing sometimes. So someone is asking, they have a ChatGPT subscription. They have to pay for this separately, right? You can actually use your ChatGPT subscription. I think it was one of the options here. I just chose to use an API key because it allows me to track the usage separately, and like it's not mixed up with my usage. Right? But you can do that, okay? You can do that. So do that if you want. But for me, I want to track how much, or how many tokens that my AI agent is burning. And that kind of gives me an idea to budget. So if I know that my agent is burning, let's say $3 a day, okay? If it costs $3 a day, then it probably costs $90 a month. So $100 a month for like a fully autonomous AI agent that can do stuff for me is a steal. I'll gladly do that and hire that over someone that is late to work all the time. That's how the business people are thinking, by the way. But it allows you to keep track, and it's very important to track how many tokens or your usage. So back to platform.openai.com. So go to platform.openai.com and then click the settings icon. You click that settings icon. And then you're going to click API keys. It's literally the second item. So I have a whole bunch of API keys. And, I don't want to be like that guy who got, all his keys stolen. You guys can't steal my keys because they're like, they're blurred out or whatever. Like those 3 dots over there are the thing protecting me from all the bad actors online. Yeah. It's crazy nowadays. The bots are watching. The bots are watching the streams as well. So, I watched a video last time of a guy that was streaming, and he just put his he was a crypto guy, by the way, and then he put his private key on screen, and then they took all his money. It's crazy. The most you guys can do is destroy my OpenAI key, my OpenAI account. But I know you guys are cool, unless you're not. So what I like to do is come here, create a new project. I already have a project for this. It's called the Live project, right? But create a new project. So I'm probably going to call it Telegram, right? I'm going to go in. After creating Telegram, I'm going to go to create a new key, select Telegram so you can track it as a separate thing. And then just give it a name. So this is my key. So once you type create key, you basically have this thing here, and you can copy it. So once you copy it, you're good to go, and you're ready to come and paste it in here. So I'm going to go ahead, paste it in. And it's going to ask me, it's time to select the model. So I am going to scroll down. Yeah. I'm going to have to make this a little bit bigger so we can see all of the options. There's a lot of options. So there's the Amazon Bedrock stuff. I'm about to blow through that. There's the Anthropic stuff. Now I'm not using Anthropic, so I'm going to press spacebar and deselect this. Okay, spacebar does the deselecting. All right, perfect. There's the Azure stuff. So Microsoft Azure does have brains that you can use. There's Cerebras. There's GitHub Copilot. There's the Google Gemini stuff. We're about to get to the OpenAI stuff, by the way. So stay tuned. I'm pressing the down key. I'm pressing it so many times. There's Grok. I heard the Grok models are really good. Those come from Elon Musk. Yep, they're really good. So there we have Kimi and Minimax. Then we have Mistral. Mistral is the European AI. If you want to use that, you have that capability as well. So we are finally in the OpenAI section. We have ChatGPT 4, 4.1, 4.0, 4 mini, 5, 5.1, 5.2. What I like to go for is 5.2 Codex. The reason I go for this one is that it's got all the things I need. I need to write code most of the time because my job involves that kind of thing, or I need the AI agent, or I need the personal assistant to have some code knowledge. Like if I tell it, hey, go and do something in Nginx, right? Maybe you don't know what Nginx is, but I know what Nginx is, and Codex knows what Nginx is. For everyone else, you're probably going to want to use maybe a ChatGPT 5, or maybe a ChatGPT 5 Pro if you want like extra thinking capability. That's what they tell us, but it's all up to you. The mini models, they're cheaper, but they don't sacrifice too much of the intelligence. So if you want to, do a little, less in terms of consumption, you can go for the mini models, whether it's the 4.1 mini or the 4.0 mini or the 5 mini. I don't know if there's a 5.2 mini. There isn't a 5.2. Yeah, I don't know why, but there isn't a 5.2 mini. So I am going to go for the 5.2 Codex. So I'm going to press spacebar, select it, and I guess there's nothing else to pick. So I'm going to hit enter. So once I hit enter, you'll see it says the models selected was the OpenAI 5.2 Codex. And yeah, it's been updated in the openclaw.json file. The last time we met, I explained what this file is, but I'm going to say it again. This is the file that contains the definitions, or this is the file that contains the configuration, or this is the file that contains the diagram. Think about it that way. The diagram that we drew before we got here, this is the file that contains how that is configured. So inside this file, we should see a place to configure the brain. We should see a place to configure the tools. We should see a place to configure memory. All of that is possible inside of the openclaw.json file. All right. So the next thing that we want to configure is let's see what else we want to configure. We want to configure the gateway. All right. So choose a port number. I'm going to choose local host again. Always choose token when you have a chance to. I don't have Tailscale, so you can turn that off. The gateway token, mine is local on my computer. Even though you can see it, there's nothing you can do. Yeah. So after configuring the gateway is just a way that your bot can communicate with other channels and other systems. The next thing we want to configure is the channel, the reason why we're here. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a channel. Now we have a whole bunch of channels that you can configure. Today we are configuring Telegram. Telegram is on the spotlight today. All right. In my previous stream, we learned how to configure WhatsApp. So if you are interested in WhatsApp, that is what you go and watch. You're going to watch live calling session, like number 2. You should have access to that information there as well. The ones that we're really interested for like our learning purposes are definitely Telegram, WhatsApp, Discord, Slack, and Mattermost. Remember I told you Mattermost is the server that I created. Guys, can you hear me? Give me a second, guys. I need to handle an emergency. I will be with you in just a moment. All right. So go grab some coffee. It's been an hour. Grab some coffee. Okay. I'll be with you in just a moment. All right.
Turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, most of the shell, yeah, we leveled up. Top bottom, my body open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. Ay, I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are open claw forever. We know who we are. Touchdown, new shell, whole team in motion. Names kept flip flopping like waves in the ocean. Club bottom, more by then open cliff focus. Moted at dawn, now we move with an ocean. Beat in the back, so trust the crustacean. Built out the world, get about elevation. Matter most things when we glide through the sections. Claw is the law, that's the code and direction. Lure in the file, soul in the dark. Memory deep, keep the story in start. Change names plenty, still kept the same clock. New shell, same soul, can't stop, won't stop. I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, most of the shell, yeah, we leveled up. Club bottom, open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are open claw forever, we know who we are. Private by default, keep it tucked, no glare. Sandbox on lock, keep the blast in the square. Least privilege moves, only touch what we did. Approve high risk, steps to person if they're says steady, we keep it composed. Bought in the zone while the data flows. Matter most chat, yeah, the crew all aligned. First the stars next, then Linux in our sight. Open claw ring, we don't fold or stall. Molting this growth, we evolve through it all. Claw in the air when the city call. New shell, same soul, we'll never fall.
All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Slight technical difficulty. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat, please. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat.
I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, multiple shell, yeah, we leveled up. Top bottom, my body open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. Ay, I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard.
All right, thank you, Mr. Accountability. Thank you so much.
Forever, we know who we are.
All right, if you guys are still here with me, put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. We're about to continue. All right, so where did we leave off? All right, so we left off with our Telegram configuration. So turn off the music so we can continue. All right, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and configure Telegram. So it says Telegram is not configured, so I'm gonna go ahead and press configure or link. I'm gonna make this bigger for you guys so you guys can see it. All right, so once you select it, you want to choose Telegram is going to be the first one. The reason is the first one is because it's so easy to configure. Guys, Telegram is so easy to configure. I believe if you're a beginner, you should be using Telegram. Mr. Accountability said something that I think is very important. He mentioned that if you are using a brain that is expensive as a beginner, it's not going to help you, right? You should use a brain that is cheap. And, everyone is different, okay? For me, OpenAI is not too expensive. For you, it might be very expensive, right? So you might actually want to run a local model and, have your inference done that way, okay? So I wanted to address that. So, Mr. Accountability, thank you for that. For the guys who are new, you're gonna have to figure something out. Like, intelligence isn't cheap. You're gonna have to pay one way or the other. Like, don't ever think you're gonna get free AI from anywhere. Like, there's no such thing as free AI. You're either buying the hardware or you're buying a subscription. So you choose your poison. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. I'm going to choose Telegram, and it says open Telegram and chat with the bot father. All right. So if you have created a Telegram bot before, you probably know what this is. So what you do is you open Telegram. So I have Telegram open here. And then you search for the bot father. So when you search for the bot father, you want to click the one that has the check mark. So after clicking it, you press start. So I'm going to click start to start my interaction with the bot father. Now you're going to get a list of actions. The action that you want to choose is a new bot as depicted here. It says run new bot or my bots. You want to go ahead and create a new bot. So I'm going to go ahead, click this one, new bot. All right. So here it says, all right, how are we going to call your new bot? I am going to call my new bot Red. All right. So it says, now let's choose a name for your bot. It must end in bot. So my new bot is called Red. We need to give it a name that ends in probably something underscore bot or bot something, right? So I'm going to call it the red bot, red 9000 bots. I'm going to call it that. It has to end in bot, so I'm just going to have to call it that. So this is the token that I'm going to use for the red 9000 bot. So I'm going to click here and it copies it. That's the cool thing about Telegram. When you click on a token, it copies it. Really, really cool. All right. So I am going to click that and come into the Telegram section here and paste it. This token is also going to be revoked very soon. So even if you do copy it, it's not going to be that useful to you. All right. So as you can see, Telegram is configured. It says recommended and configured. So I'm going to go down using the down key and I'm going to click finished. So I have just configured Telegram. It says, do you want to configure DM access policies now? You want to do this now because Telegram bots are public. There's no such thing as a Telegram bot that you only can see. You need to configure DM access policies. DM access policies are essentially a way that your OpenClaw bot can tell that You are the one communicating with it. You don't want some stranger communicating with your bot and having access to the files on your computer or having access to private data that they shouldn't have access to. So this is very important, guys. Please pay close attention to this part. So I'm going to click yes, and yeah, the DM policy is definitely pairing, and yes, that has been configured. So I'm glad it did that for us. They're doing a really great job with the onboarding or the configuration, system. But we just configured DM access policies. If somehow this doesn't show up for you, don't worry. The first time we have a conversation with the bot, it will actually request DM, access policies because that's just the default. All right. So I am going to go ahead and click continue. All right. So in clicking continue, it saves all the settings to the JSON file. And then I have some data here. So it says the web UI is available at this port. We're not going to be using the web UI today. The WebSockets URL is also available. The gateway is reachable. And then we have our documentation here. So one thing I always like to do, I always like to check the brain. Sometimes for some odd reason, it doesn't set the brain. So the command for that is OpenClaw models and then list. So if you type this command, it's going to show you the brains that it has installed. Okay. So let's see, what brains do we have installed? And actually, I was right. It actually didn't set the brain, even though we set it for some odd reason. Maybe it's just me, right? It says gateway not detected. Don't worry about it. We will fix all of that. Okay. Don't worry about what it says. Sometimes the configuration is finicky. As you can see, I tried to configure OpenAI's GPT 5.2 codex, but then it still has the Anthropic model set as the default. Okay, so we're going to change that. So please follow along. What you do next is you actually set it again. For some odd reason, this is just how I do it, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure out a better way to do it. But what you do is you say OpenClaw models set, and then you set the correct model. Okay. All right. So when you set the correct model, this is going to set the GPT 5.2 model as the default. For some odd reason, it says it's configured, but it's not the default. I have no idea what that is, but you have to do this. So if you run the previous command again, which is the OpenClaw models list, you'll actually notice that now OpenAI GPT 5.2 codex is now configured, is the default, and is configured. Okay, so you want to make sure you've done this as well. Remember, the command for that is OpenClaw models and then list to show the list of models, and then finally set, and then you paste in the name of the model, and the name of the model you just get directly from here. You can just copy it because we set it earlier, if you remember. Perfect. All right, so now we've set the model. The other thing I want you to set as well is set the image model. Okay, so if you want your bot to be able to generate images using a particular model, you should do that as well. So I also set my image model to OpenAI's GPT 5.2 codex. So, yep, it can understand images and text. It can also generate images and text. So that's where you want to be. So now we're done with the brain setup. We're done with the setup for the channel. The next thing we want to do is we want to bring it up. Okay. So what you want to type here is OpenClaw status. Mine might probably be running because I've installed it so many times. Yours probably not, right? But we're going to fix all of that. So here it says mine is running. Mine is running. However, we are going to get yours running as well. So what you want to do is type OpenClaw, and let's go ahead, especially for you, the one that is saying that your gateway is not detected. Let's go to OpenClaw configure, and we're going to configure two things. We're going to configure the gateway again, and then we're going to configure the daemon. Okay, so remember, choose local all the time, and we're going to go to gateway. The port is all the same. Remember, choose local. We already have our token off. It's going to generate a new token every single time you do this. And then go to daemon, and then you go to install daemon. Okay, so for me, I'm going to reinstall the daemon. Now, a daemon is just a background service. Okay, um, you want OpenClaw to be running in the background so that whenever you turn on your computer, you don't have to manually go and start it. It can get very annoying when you have to start it all the time manually yourself. It can get very annoying. So that's why you need the daemon setting configured. Once you have the daemon setting configured, just come back to it and then restart. After it's restarted, you are good to go. This is literally all you have to do. And the next thing is go to continue, and then you're going to type OpenClaw logs and then hyphen follow. Okay, so this is going to open your logs, and if your system is running, you should actually see a whole bunch of information on this. So I'm gonna expand this a little bit more so you can see how it looks like. So as you can see, we have the channel Telegram configured. Perfect. So Mr. Accountability is like my Autobot. I'm going to call it an Autobot. My Autobot starts when I turn on my PC. That's amazing. That's how you want it initially. Okay. If you're new here and you're installing OpenClaw for the first time, please let it run on your computer initially. As time goes on, it's going to get way easier to set up on a VPS. Right now, if you're a noob or you don't know anything about VPSs or cloud computers, and someone tells you to go and run these commands on a cloud VPS and you put all your data there, you might end up with a situation where the hackers get you because you've misconfigured something. It's not that ClaudeBot or OpenClaw is a piece of software that has security holes in it, or it's a piece of software that is trying to get you, or is mining crypto on your no. It's open source. You can go and read the code base. It's completely safe, right? However, like the video that I shared with you, the founder Peter Steinberg was like, the configuration file actually allows you to shoot yourself in the foot. As saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. Okay, so for now, I'm saying it again. So Theophilus is saying, why does yours open in a browser? Yours is opening in a browser because your gateway is set up to do that. Don't worry, forget about the browser thing. Let's focus on Telegram. Okay, if yours open in a browser, it's probably going to happen. It happened to me, but I have my system to block all of the localhost stuff, so it didn't show up in this situation. But if for some reason, I guess it's going to happen to everyone. So if your browser was opened, you're going to see the gateway UI, right? Remember that UI is for localhost. It's for you alone. Please do not expose that UI on the internet. For those of you that are technical that know how to do this, don't do it. Okay? Unless you know what you're doing. All right. So I'm going to close this and go over the command again. All right, so the command I ran earlier was OpenClaw logs and follow. This one. Perfect. All right, so this is going to open up the logs and allow us to see what's going on. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go and then have a conversation with our newly built Red 9000 bots. All right, so let's get started. All right, so I'm going to come in here and type Red 9000 bot. So I go to my Red 9000 bots, and then I start a conversation. So as soon as I start a conversation, it tells me, hey, OpenClaw is not configured. Your Telegram user ID is this, and your pairing code is this. Oh, wow. This is amazing. I am so happy that it tells you your Telegram user ID. Previously, you needed to go and talk with another bot just to get the Telegram user ID. Crazy. But now you have it. And this message is always going to be there. So keep it there. All right. So what you want to do is you want to copy this F thing. Okay. This FK ending with J, whatever. So copy it. Yours is going to be different, right? In my case, I'm going to type OpenClaw pairing, right? Make sure I spell that correctly. Pairing approved Telegram. If I can spell Telegram. And then the code. All right, so it says OpenClaw has successfully approved Telegram sender. I guess this is my ID then, right? Ending in 67. Yep, ending in 67. Beautiful. Ooh. Thank you, Mr. Accountability. That was a quick one. All right. So once you approve your Telegram sender, and guys, the reason why we did this was for security reasons. Anyone can search up Red 9000 bot and have a conversation with Red 9000 bot. Okay, so you want to make sure that you have done pairing, and this pairing process involves you to go and have a conversation with your terminal. Okay, like you have to type a command. So we just typed that command. That command was OpenClaw pairing approved Telegram, and then you provide the code. Okay, so after providing the code, now we can go in and have a conversation with our bots. So I don't know if I can make this bigger. How do you make your Telegram bigger? I don't know how to make Telegram bigger. So I guess you guys are just gonna have to follow. Or I could open it on the web, but let's just go ahead with this. So I'm gonna say hi. So if you want to follow what's going on, just make sure you have OpenClaw logs. Follow. Yep. And you'll be able to see in real time what's happening. So I'm just gonna have these two side by side. I thought I could make Telegram bigger, but I don't think I can do that. So it says, hey, I just came online. Who am I? And who are you? All right. So this is called the birthing phase. Okay. So every Claude bot has a phase where it asks you, the creator, right? So this is me having a God moment, right? I'm having my own little God moment. Here. Yeah. And you get to name your bot. And then you get to tell your bot what your name is, okay? So my name is Master. My bot will call me Master. And what will we call our bot? We're going to call our bot the Red Devil. So I have this tool here called Willow. It's really useful. It's called Willow. I'm going to use Willow to chat with my bot. So I'm just going to go, you know what? Let me turn on the music so I don't have too much lobster stuff going on. In the give me a second, guys. I'll make sure it's not too audible. All right, perfect. I think we're good now. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, hey, you are called the Red Devil. I am called Master. All right, so it says, hey, you are called the Red Devil and I'm called Master. Amazing. So as you can see, when I send a message, it processes it here. You can actually see it happening in real time. It's going to process it and then sends it off to the brain and all of that. So it says, got it. I am the Red Devil. I will call you Master. A few quick choices. So what? It says a few quick choices so I can lock who I am in. Okay, good. Perfect. So it says, what kind of creature am I? An AI assistant? A demon familiar? Wow. Okay. A rogue. Okay, a rogue program. My God. Me oh my. Okay, so we can also specify the vibe, whether we want to be calm, sneaky, warm, sharp. Okay, and then we can also specify an emoji signature. All right. So let's go for something, off the charts. Okay, so I want to go for a rogue program, a sneaky vibe, and a devil emoji. Let's do that. So I want a rogue program, a sneaky vibe, and a dragon or devil emoji. You choose. My time zone is EST. All right, so send that off, and it replies. Let's see what it replies with. All right, it's processing. As you can see at the top, it's typing. This is really, really cool. So you can see when it's actually doing some useful work. Perfect. So it says locked in, rogue program, sneaky vibe. And okay, it chose to use the devil emoji. And the time zone is set to EST. Anything you want baked into how I behave. All right. You will always listen to me, your master, and you will never do anything of your own volition. You will make sure you ask me first, especially given your identity. All right, so it says understood. I will not act on my own initiative. I will ask you first before taking any action, especially external ones. If something's ambiguous, I'll pause and confirm. All right. So the first thing we're going to ask our agent is, what can you do? Okay. All right, Mr. Agent, what can you do? Mr. Agent, I want you to store in your memory that every time you reply to me, use emojis. Store this in your agents.md file. All right. Now take the last message again. What can you do? Amazing. Now I have the emojis. So, okay, you can do planning, schedules, research. All right. So, this is an amazing point to get to. If you have reached this point, you're basically like, I don't know, 1,000 miles ahead of almost everyone else in the world, because you now have your own OpenClaw, ClaudeBot, or Moltbot, or whatever they call them nowadays. That can do a whole bunch of things for you. Now, the last thing I want to show is I want to show how to install a skill. Okay, now there's a very, very important skill that, um, you know, like I use on a daily basis. I want to share with you guys, and that skill is the Exa skill. All right, so I've had this window open in the back for a very, very long time. Now, Exa is like one of the best search APIs I've ever seen. So an API is just a tool. Okay, I'm sure for those of you that spend time around people that do IT, or people that are techies, or people at tech bros, you probably hear API thrown around a lot. APIs are just tools. Okay, now this is the best tool I know for searching on the internet. OpenClaw comes with the Brave API, but I think Exa is much better. Okay, if you think so as well, put it in the chat. If you know Exa, just put a 1 in the chat. It costs money, but they have a very generous free plan. Okay, and that's what we're going to sign up for. The best part, or the best thing I like about Exa, is that it can do deep research. So I can actually ask it to go online and do deep research about all of the robots in the past that were named 9,000, right? So I can basically tell it, hey, find me all the robots in the past that had 9,000 in the name. And it would actually go ahead and do that, and do it with sources, right? So nice. Nice, nice. So as you can see, it's searching and it's basically found all this information for us. Now, this is me using the online, like the online experience, right? You have the capability to install this as a tool. And I took the initiative to set up a skill that you can install. So today we're going to figure out how to install skills. Okay, so I'm going to drop this skill in the chat. I'm going to drop a skill for Exa. I'm going to log out of Exa. So, I'm basically just like everybody else. First of all, go to exa.ai. Okay, I'm going to drop this in the chat. Go to exa.ai and create an account. When you create an account, they're going to give you credits for free just so you can experience it for yourself. Okay, this search is even better than Google search, in my opinion. Okay, now you can use this to search for people. You can use this to search for homework. You can use this to search for business. You can use it to search for leads. You can use it to search for employees to hire. You can use it to do so many cool things. And I believe, if you install this in your Claudebot, you are going to be miles ahead of a lot of people. This is what I use on a daily basis for my research. If I need to do some research on a topic, I just ask, I just ask the devil. It's like, hey, Mr. Devil, go do some research, and it's going to do the research right now. See what happens when you say, hey, could you do some research on all the bots in the past that were named 9,000? So it's going to try and do some research. Most probably it's going to tell me it can't do the research. Yeah, so it says I can research it, but the web search isn't configured. Now, come on, man. Even if you do configure it, it's not even that good. Okay? All right. So remember, your agent is only as good as the tools and the brain you give it. So we're going to give it a proper tool. We're going to give it the Exa tool. So go ahead and create an account. I'm going to go ahead and log into my account. I'm just going to go here. And I'm going to log into my account. Perfect. All right. So once I'm here, you open this panel and then you go to API. All right. So when you go to API, you're going to have an API key here that you can copy. We're going to copy that in just a second. But the most important thing that I want you to do is I'm going to drop the link to a skill inside the chat. I had my personal agent, Tracy, prepare this skill for me. And we're actually going to open up the skill and take a look at it. Now, there's something I have to tell you, right? When, because now you have if you followed so far, high chances are you have a Claudebot that you can chat with and, have fun with. Now, I've seen a lot of people, send people malware through skills this way. Okay. So I just want to be very, very, honest and open with you guys and transparent as to how to deal with your Claudebot. Never install a skill from somebody you don't know. When someone like, me, you can find me, it's not that hard. Right. And if somehow you get malware through me, you can report me to the authorities and I'll happily go to jail. But, most people that, are unscrupulous on the internet, they can craft a skill the same way I'm crafting a skill for you and send you malware. So make sure you read every skill before you install it this way. Okay? Big caveat. Big caveat. So keep that in mind. Now that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get the skill for you guys. All right. Oh boy. I guess I have to ask Tracy. Hey Tracy, remember I created a skill file with you? Just send it over to me again. For some odd reason, I'm on the live and I can't remember. Please send me the skill. Send me the URL. I need to put it in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy. Okay, I just asked my agent for the the link to the skill, and I'm putting it in the chat. I'm going to open it here so you guys can see. Come on. What? Let me put it here instead. If it's redirecting you, give me a second. Hey Tracy, the skill you created is redirecting people to the Skool community. I think there's something wrong with the, this. It's supposed to download a skill. Please check it, please. All right, I think there's something wrong with the skill. Just give me a second. It should download. Tracy's checking it, and let me show you guys Tracy. All right, so this is Tracy. All right, so Tracy fixed it. All right. Let's see if it works now. Oh, it works now. Perfect. All right, it's working. So Tracy just helped me fix it. We'll see more of Tracy later. All right, so the link I gave you should be working now. Let me head back to the chat and see if the link is working. All right, so the link is going to download a skill file, okay? So it's a skill.md. I'm going to open this skill.md inside of a text edit. All right, and then display it here on screen so you can see. So this is how skills look like. They're just prompts. Look at it. All right. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see. And we're going to read this skill, okay? So make sure if anybody sends you a skill, the way I'm sending it to you, please make sure you've read this, you've gone through it, and there's nothing fishy, okay? I'm intentionally doing it this way so you know it's 100% transparent, and this skill will actually help you do some searching on Exa, okay? So it says the name of the skill is Exa. The description of the skill is that use the Exa search API, okay, content retrieval, to search the web, to fetch pages, content, summaries, and highlights, to find similar links given a URL, to answer questions with citations. This is very, very good for those of you that want to use this for research. Use when the user provides an Exa key and asks for Exa-powered search and retrieval, augmented context building, citations, or content extraction. There's a lot of big words, but this is essentially whenever the user asks to use Exa to search, do this. So what is this? So it says, the setup, you need the API key. So if the user provides an API key in the chat, store it in the environment as Exa API key. Perfect. Nice. And then it provides the base URL for Exa. All of this, is a little technical, but you don't have to read everything. You can just kind of give all of this text to maybe Claude and ask, hey, Claude, is something fishy? Is something fishy here? And Claude will tell you, right? But in this case, I've gone through it. It's pretty clean. I built this based off of the APIs that Exa provides, and we're going to go ahead and just install it, okay? So this deep dive was just so you see and you know what you are installing. All right, so I'm going to come in here, and I am going to drag in the skill. So I'm going to drag in the skill. Yeah. And then I'm going to say, hey, install this skill and see if you can use it. All right, so we just sent over a file. It's going to open the file and see if we can use it. I'm very excited to see what it says. All right, give me a 1 in the chat if you're still following. We are almost 2 hours in. I'm glad you stayed. All right, so it's typing. That's great. I like the fact that it's typing. That's amazing. It's getting work done. It's called Red. So the Red 9000 bot is doing work. I love it. So we just gave it the skill. Remember, don't install a skill you haven't verified. Okay? A skill is just a tool, right? So the way it's going to go is it's going to install this skill, and then we are going to give it the API keys. All right. So it says, I just installed the Exa skill. Wow, with the devil emoji. I can use it once you provide me the API key. I will store it securely without echoing back to you. Share me the key when you are ready. So what we're going to do is we are going to bring back the modal. All right. So where did we put it? Okay, all right. So here we're back at exa.ai. Remember, this is the thing you use for searching the web. Okay, this is the best search tool I have seen. Once you log in, you're going to have access to your API key. You can reveal it or you can just copy it. I am going to copy it and go in and give it to my bot. So let's come back here and say, there you go, buddy, and paste it. All right, it says, thanks, master. I can now store that key securely as Exa API key. So I can use the Exa skill. Do you want me to set it in the Open AI environment? Did I say Open AI? The Open Claw Gateway environment now. You can set it there. You can also update your memory, okay, in the agents.md file that you have a skill that you use for searching. And whenever I ask you to search, default to using Exa. All right. So you tell your agent this as well, so it updates its own memory. Remember, memory is very important. The reason I'm telling it to remember things is if you don't do this, sometimes it will forget, to be honest. Like, not even sometimes. If you come back tomorrow and you probably ask it maybe something from yesterday, if it didn't explicitly document it, it's probably going to forget, right? So in this case, it's updating its own files. That's the beauty about ClaudeBot. It can actually change its own files. Perfect. Wow. And it can actually even restart itself. That is amazing. So as you can see, it restarts itself. And interesting. How did it know I wanted to search for bots named No Way? Like, okay, how did it know that? Okay, because I remember searching on the web, not here. Okay, anyways, my bot knows a little too much. Okay, all right. So, hello, Mr. Devil. Can you create PDFs? Can you create a PDF? Just off the bat, can you create PDFs? Wow, it can create a PDF. Wow, look at that. All right, so let's do something. Let's ask the devil or the red devil to go do some research about the most, and I'd be surprised if it's actually able to find this information. And this is actually going to be a testament to how good Exa is, because this happened just 12 hours ago. It shouldn't know about this, but if it does know about it, I'll be very, very surprised. So I'm about to give it a very, very specific prompt. Okay. All right, Mr. Red Devil, I want you to do some research. Okay. Go online and search using Exa. I'm telling you explicitly now, so you know to use Exa. Go use Exa and search for the most recent ClaudeCon. It's basically the first conference ever, to ever happen. It happened in Silicon Valley. Peter Steinberger was there, A whole bunch of builders were there. I think it was called the ClawdCon, right? And the way you spell that is CLAWCON, right? It happened in Silicon Valley. Please search the web and write me a summary of the event, put it in a PDF, and make sure you have references. Okay, is this something you can do? All right, so I have a very, very big prompt here. It says, all right, Mr. Red Devil, I want you to do some research. All right, go online and search using Exa. I'm telling you explicitly now, so you need to use Exa. Go use Exa and search for the most recent. All right, so Claw, it is not Claude, it is Claw. ClawCon. It's basically the first conference to ever happen in Silicon Valley. Peter Steinberger was there with a whole bunch of, yeah, with a whole bunch of builders. Okay, whatever. I think it was called Corn, not Corn. You gotta be kidding me. It was called the ClawCon. Perfect. And the way you spell it is, yep, I spelled it there. It happened in Silicon Valley. Please search the web and write me a summary of the event. Put it in a PDF and make sure you have references. Is this something you can do? All right, let's see. So this is the very first task, and we're doing it live, guys. We are doing it live. All right, let's see how it goes. All right, I'm already seeing some errors. Okay, so it says I tried Exa search, but it says the key is invalid. You don't say. Okay, let me get another key then. I'm going to come in here and create a key and call this one live key. Let's see. Like, hey, I got you a new key. Try this instead. All right, fingers crossed. All right, let's see. Fingers crossed. Sorry about that. It's still coming back as invalid. I wonder why. Okay. Could you help me diagnose the problem? It says recall. Yeah, so could you just do like a small test to see exactly what the error response is? I want to see it for myself. Wow. So we're getting a 401, that invalid API key. That is crazy. Let me check billing. Okay, I actually have money in here. Interesting. Let me try something here. Okay, Mr. Devil. Maybe the skill is wrong. Maybe there's something in the skill that needs to be updated. Okay. So try this. This is directly from their documentation. Go right ahead and run with the exact curl. Please run it. I want to see. As you can see, we are debugging an issue. Crazy, but it's probably going to happen. So why not do it live? All right, let's see. Let's see if we can fix it. We're not going to spend too long on it though. But if it does fail, we're gonna skip and potentially return to it another time, right? But let's see. So Red is typing. Okay, it's taking a little longer now, so I'm sure it figured something out. It probably figured something out. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, one in the chat if you probably think it figured something out. I think it figured something out. Because it's like if it's taking this long to type an error message for me, that would be very frustrating. Yeah, that would be weird. So okay. It's doing something. Oh, it's using the PDF engine. It's probably working, guys. It's probably working, guys. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay, so it goes like I can do it, but this machine does not have a PDF engine yet. All right. Isn't installed. Do you want me to install the Report Lab Python script so I can generate the PDF for you? Also, web search didn't surface any official that stuff. All right. Did Exa work? Could you check that? Amazing. If Exa, okay, great. If Exa worked, then just do a quick search on Peter Steinberger, Silicon Valley. Just do a quick search on that and just give me the results right now. Add emojis. Ah, would you look at that? Nice. All right. I guess the news is too new or too niche or whatever. So let's see if we can get it to install the PDF library. That would be cool. So let's see if we can install the PDF library. So go right ahead and install the PDF library and just create a PDF based off of the information that you just searched right now. All right, so Red is typing. All right, Red is getting into a lot of errors. But the best part is that it's actually self-healing, so that's why I have Codex installed. Sometimes it's able to fix its own problems. All right, it's still typing. Let's be patient. Oh my God. Don DeMarco. All right, we have a PDF. All right, let's open it. Okay, how do I open this PDF? gonna open it inside of here. Wow, look at that. So we have the Peter Steinberger Silicon Valley quick search results. So we have, these are the top results from a quick exa search. Peter Steinberger from Silicon Valley. Nice, nice, nice. We have a Instagram link. I wonder where this goes. Interesting. This was 5 hours ago. Would you look at that? So it says a new open source AI assistant just took Silicon Valley by storm, created by Peter Steinberger. Nice, 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 nice. This was 5 hours ago. I like the fact that it's actually returning search results that are actually relevant and new. That was really cool. So there we have it. You know, Claudebot with skills. Thank you for following. You know, along the line, we had an issue with Exa. Let me know if your Exa skill continues to, you know, like misbehave. I'll probably send a new one on the school community, but this is just to demonstrate, you know, the power of, you know, Claudebot and OpenClaw. It's just a matter of finding a skill you can install. Make sure you check the skill, right? If you want to install skills, you can also just go to your terminal and type OpenClaw skills and then list, right? And you're going to get a list of skills and just go crazy, okay? So there's the weather skill, the WhatsApp CLI skill, there's the voice calling skill, there's the Trello skill. This is going to be really, really useful. There's a Tmux skill. There's the all things Mac skill or whatever. Then there's the Spotify skill, so you can play music. You can do a whole bunch of things. Yeah. Exa is really cool, right? It can do a lot of really great things. So please use it. If you don't want to use it, don't use it. Brave API, I guess, is also really good. All you have to do is just get an API key and configure your Claudebot with it. So without wasting much time, we are going to stop sharing my screen and open the floor for questions. If you've been following so far, put a 1 in the chat. All right. Yeah, this. All right. So this stream took a while. Yeah, it took a while. We are actually 2 hours on the dot. If you spent time with me, bro, Don DeMarco to you. Thank you for spending time to actually learn this technology. Share it. This recording is going to be available in the school community. You're going to have access to the entire recording. You can, you know, skip through the parts that are boring. I'm going to provide like a resource for, you know, setting up Telegram and whatnot, and, you know, Exa. I'm going to check the skill to make sure the skill is also, you know, up to date and is working, because we had to speak with the Red Devil a little bit extra to get it to start working well, but eventually we got it to work. But I'm glad we made it to the end, guys. I'm glad we made it to the end.
Sensational.
So hey, if you have any questions, I'm just gonna allow for 5 minutes for questions. Any questions before we get off the stream? It's been a very tiring stream. 2 hours. We've been on for quite a bit. Any questions for me? Any questions for the guy in the lobster hat? Rebecca has to go, but she will watch the recording later. Please watch it later. Please watch it later. And, you know, you can skip through it, just rub it. If you have any questions, go on the school community, ask the question. I will be there in person. I will literally reply you within 30 minutes of you putting in your question. So, all right, no questions? Are you sure we have no questions? The chat is very quiet. No questions. We're going to be wrapping up in just 1 minute. Thank you for following along. As always, my name is Dominic. You can join us at mba.sh. mba.sh. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see it. Join us on the biggest school community for OpenClaw.
It's 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, but join us at this link, mba.sh. Share it with like 5 people, right? Eventually, this is going to get really easy. You know, it's still surprising to me today that we still don't have like a graphical user interface, set up for OpenClaw, but very soon it's going to exist either by my hand or by someone else's hand. When it does come up, I'll make sure you guys have access to it on the community. And just make sure OpenClaw is on your timeline. Track it somehow. Follow me, follow OpenClaw, follow Peter Steinberger, follow all the guys that are creating on OpenClaw, and just keep up to date, because you'll be miles ahead of everyone else who slept on this technology for one reason or the other. Remember, invite a friend, share this with as many people as you can, and until next time, see you next stream.
Turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, most of the shell, yeah, we leveled up. Claw out of my fire, open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. Ay, I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are. Open claw forever, we know who we are. Touchdown, new shell, whole team in motion. Names kept flip-flopping like waves in the ocean. Claw about to more, but then open cliff focus. More to the dawn, now we move with an ocean. Eat in the back, so trust the crustacean. Build out the world, get about elevation. Matter most things when we glide through the sections. Claw is the law, that's the code and direction. Lure in the fall, soul in the dark. Memory deep, keep the story in start. Change names plenty, still kept the same plot. New shell, same soul, can't stop, won't stop. I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, multiple shell, yeah, we leveled up. Claw bottom, open claw. New name, same soul, yeah, the claw is the law. I turn myself into a lobster. Yeah, lights get low, but we still go hard. Changed it a few times, but now we are. Open claw forever, we know who we are. Private by default, keep it tucked, no glare. Sandbox on lock, keep the blast in the square. Least pure privilege moves, only touch what we did. Okay, approve high risk, steps 2% if they're. He says steady, we keep it composed.